Cameron, who lost 38 kilos, Joe, who lost 13 kilos, and Stephen, who lost 23 kilos, are just 3 of the hundreds of men worldwide we've helped get into the shape of their life, all while still enjoying weekends. I recently had a hip replacement because I had a disease where my bone died, which led me to being overweight because I couldn't exercise. During my recovery, I managed to get myself back to my best in just a few months while still eating out, and in this video I'm going to cover the exact strategies that we used to stay on track whilst eating out so you can too. Strategy 1, calorie banking. Now, a good analogy I like to think of is thinking of calories as money, but unlike your actual money, you get a fresh allowance that you can spend every single day. But before you even start or think about that, you need to know your deficit calories. Now, I can't give out specifics for every one of you guys watching this because I simply just don't have enough information. So if you want help with that, DM me the word calories on Instagram and I'll help you out. But let's just say it's 2,000. That's 2,000 calories that you can spend every single day, which is exactly what Joe had when he first implemented this strategy. So if you ate 2,000 calories every single day, you will lose body fat, but here's what Joe did to still enjoy weekends. So instead of having all of your calories, you can just have some of them. So let's say if you're on 2,000, instead of having that 2,000, you can just have 1,800, saving 200 calories per day. And if you did that across Monday to Friday, that would be 1,000 calories saved, which you could then add onto, let's say, Saturday, for example. So instead of on Saturday having the original 2,000 calories that you'd normally be allowed to spend, you can now spend 3,000 calories, giving you much more flexibility with your food options. But here's the important part. Pull off no more than 250 calories per day. It's very tempting to slash 500, 600, 700 calories per day, but if you do that, all you're going to do is absolutely sap your energy levels. Your training's going to suffer, you're going to be miserable, you're going to be starving, which runs the risk of you losing a lot of muscle in combination with a lot of fat, but also your testosterone is going to tank and you're going to have a higher risk of going off on a binge. Also, when you pull calories away, make sure it is never from protein. Always take calories away from ideally carbohydrates and a little bit of fats, because if you take away from protein, you will lose muscle. And disclaimer, don't do this every single week. This is simply a tool for you to use if you've got a big occasion coming up that you can't avoid. If you do this weekly, you're going to be drained, you're going to be miserable, you're not really going to be able to make this any form of a sustainable lifestyle, and you're not going to build any muscle whilst losing the fat. Cameron did this and he lost 6 stone while still building a lot of muscle, only because he implemented this every 3 to 4 weeks, not every week. Side note, straight up, none of that strategy or the following one that I'm going to talk through works if you randomly turn up to a restaurant ordering starters, mains, desserts, beers, cocktails, and sides on top. No strategy in the world will save you from that, and making choices like that are keeping you in the mess that you're in. So here's what my clients do. 1, you must plan ahead, leaving a minimum of 5 days to bank before your off-plan meal. 2, know what restaurant you're going to be going to ahead of time. And 3, make smart choices in that restaurant. For example, prioritizing lean proteins like steak and chicken breast, swapping things like chips for rice and veggies, and avoiding liquid calories such as high-fat soft drinks or alcohol. That way you can still enjoy the night with your friends or family, stay in control, and wake up the next morning still on track towards your goals. What's even better is using chains instead of independent restaurants, as they typically have all of the calories and macro breakdown online. If not a chain though, don't worry, I have a full training on how to track it. DM me the word restaurants on Instagram and I'll shoot it across for free. Strategy 2, protein modified fast. Now, this one really is the key to a successful calorie bank. So let's just say you've banked your calories Monday through to Friday, you've given yourself that extra 1,000 calories to play with on the Saturday. Now, what do you do on your Saturday apart from going out and enjoying yourself? So let's just use an example, right? You're going out for a meal at 7 o'clock in the evening. The way that you would run a protein modified fast is like this. You would fast for as long as you possibly can and push that first meal back, shortening the window of time that you've got to consume calories. But the key is when you break that fast, you only break the fast with purely protein. So for example, you would have something like 2 scoops of protein in a shake, or 200 grams of egg whites with a bit of cheese, or 200 to 300 grams of chicken with some veg. And the benefit of this is you still need to hit your protein target to reduce the risk of you potentially losing some muscle. Plus, protein is the most satiating macro, so it keeps you fuller for longer, which would sustain you up until you go out for that meal. But not only that, the main benefit of running this is if you only consume protein and minimal carbs and minimal fats, you then have even more calories that you're allowed to play with for the off-plan meal. So let's go back to that example we were discussing. Your deficit calories are 2,000. You've banked 1,000 calories Monday to Friday. You've now got 3,000 calories to play with. If you're taking in on average around about 180 grams of protein per day, you'll not really take up many of your calories if you just purely hit that. So you'll have the best part of around about 2,300 to 2,400 calories to play with for your off-plan meal, depending on the protein sources that you choose. That way, you can enjoy your meal without blowing your weekly deficit, just like Stephen did once a month to lose 23 kilos. Now, this is just one of the many ways that we help the guys get the transformations they do and the time frame they do while still enjoying life. So if you want a result like Mirage did, where he lost 20 kilos while still enjoying weekends, or one of the other hundreds of guys that we've got on the team, then hit that top link in the description and me and my team will have a chat and come up with a roadmap specific to you. The call is free. You can simply just take the advice that we'll give you and have a crack at it on your own, or you can do exactly what all of the guys on the screen have done, join the team and guarantee the result. There's literally no pressure. The choice is yours. And while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment on any issues that you might potentially be facing so I can do a video on it to help you.